right, we're out here with Baxter, and I was just checking his clicker response, and I don't know if we've quite got what we're looking for with that. Oh boy. Yeah, he needs a little bit of help responding to his clicker. So I would definitely work on that. Hopefully can't really tell if my camera's all, just double check, make sure we're in the picture. Okay, so I would practice that clicker exercise with him. If you started doing that in the house and just kind of building that response of tossing, where you toss a piece out, click, present a handful from you, you should start to move on to doing it outside. So, for instance, we'll kind of practice it here a little bit. So, he should start to be associating the sound of the clicker with running to me to get food. And that's going to help us in this situation where we want to actually start to pair that response that he would be building with distractions. Good. So, it should look just like that. It's starting to catch on to him now. And maybe you did practice this, but it's definitely, puppies don't generalize well, as I like to say. So something that you do at home or something that we do at the studio for the first, time or two doesn't necessarily translate when we change something about the environment or the type of distraction we're working around. So sometimes you'll teach your dog this really cool trick at home, and then you go to the neighbor's barbecue and you say, "Hey, Rover, sit." And they're like, "I've never heard that word in my life." So I like to say that dogs just don't always generalize. It's very nice sitting. Good job. So our goal for this exercise is to begin to pair distractions with our clicker so that distractions end up starting to take on the same response as the clicker does. So what that means is, instead of seeing a distraction, like something really exciting like a person or another dog or a flying leaf or whatever it is, chipmunk, dogs typically see distractions and get sucked in. Good. And what we're going to start to try to do is pair that with the clicker enough times. Hi. Yeah, you can. You're going to say hi? You say hi. Hello. Good job. Nice job. Yeah, he's just a baby. Hello. Nice job. How old? I believe he's about between 10 and 12 weeks. He's not my puppy. Yeah, he's just a little guy. And perfect in during a greeting, which is great. We're kind of jumping all over the place, which is perfect. I do want to have food nearby just in case. So food will kind of help keep 4 on the floor. That's our goal with greeting. Good. Yeah, absolutely. Hello. Oh, good job. You are so cute. Are you learning how to be friendly? Yeah. We're meeting all the people. Good job. Good. I would say that as far as these couple of strangers that we've seen, his body language is ever so slightly hesitant, which is totally fine. That can have a lot to do with genetics. It doesn't necessarily mean he's unfriendly or unsocial. And I'm sure people he knows or he's met a few times, he's actually quite exuberant and happy to see them. But this guy as an individual at this age is a little just ever so slightly hesitant, and whether that's the actual person or just the environment or the fact that there's cars, who knows. But that's going to be something I really want to spend some time making positive experiences with. So because I sense that he's just ever so slightly hesitant, what's that? Yeah, he's super cute. Good job. I just wanted to make sure that I'm pairing it with food. Food's the easiest thing that we can use to reinforce and change or influence a puppy's response. So anything that you add food to generally will become a positive experience, and that's what we're looking for. So with socialization, which is our main concern right now at his age, good. Even though we want all the obedience, we really want to make sure that we're exposing him to all the different people, sounds, places, surfaces, and things, and making sure that it's a good positive experience and not a neutral or bad experience. So we're working on making sure that everything's a positive experience. So again, I would say just getting him more responsive to his clicker would be really helpful right now. But he's doing really good with this so far. Good. So anytime he kind of wanders off, Good. I want to be able to kind of use my clicker to guide him back over to me. Good boy. He's offering some nice sits. Once he has that conditioned response to the clicker, and I think I might have explained this in the beginning, so sorry if I'm kind of repeating myself, but what we're looking to create is another conditioned response to distraction. So instead of seeing a person and kind of getting sucked in and watching for a long time, I want his response to be, oh, that's distracting, and then look to me to see like, hey, what's gonna happen next? Perfect. Nice. He had a nice little response to his clicker there. Nice job. I'm gonna let him check back out. Good. And I was just clicking there just to, good. Just to get his response. Perfect. Perfect. So I'm letting him, as soon as he's kind of checking that out, I'm going to pair that with my clicker. So I'm basically letting him look for about a second to a second and a half before I click. And what we should start to see in the next couple, yeah, right there, is where he looks around, he checks things out, and then looks back to me. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're doing. Good, just like that. So right now we're using a lot of food to create this response. But after a few sessions of this, we start to weed out the food and kind of make it variable on how often we would actually feed him. So I might change it to every other person I might feed him for, or I might start to only feed him for doing it on his own and not having to use my clicker. So for right now, I'm going to just pay him a lot, so that we call that a high reinforcement rate. Or, yeah, good boy. He's doing little quick looks right there. He's kind of looking at the door and looking at me. And that's what we're trying to teach him, is that's a really valuable thing to do. Paying attention to me in the presence of distractions is a really awesome thing to do. Good. Even in between people, I'm just going to practice my clicker response with him. Nice. It's starting to get there. That looks good. Very nice, Pup. Hopefully my microphone's working. You're a good boy. Nice. Good. Thank you. She thinks he's cute. Good boy. So there we have that response happening without the clicker. Good boy. Good. 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 I kind of waited to see if it was going to happen on his own on that last person, but I ended up needing to use my clicker. Basically, after like 2 full seconds, if I don't see him kind of orienting back to me, I'm going to use my clicker. Good boy. Don't eat that trash. Good boy. All right. Well, he's doing really good. We're going to move around the plaza and practice this a little bit more. Yes. Good boy. Good job, Baxter. I think I called you Shaggy a second ago. Sorry, buddy. Good job, Baxter.